everyone. Welcome to session 6 of Product University. I hope you all have had a fantastic start to your May. It is my favorite month. It's my birthday month, so I'm a little bit biased, but we also have a fantastic session in store and for the next weeks to come. Today, we are going over a crucial topic, and it's one that I invite individuals not regularly signed up for Product University to still attend, because I often am asked, what products are right for me? What is good for my skin type? How do I recommend this individual to proceed with RIMAN? Today, we are comparing the different product offerings so that you ultimately can create an influenced decision for your self-care ritual. Without further ado, I'm going to get started and share my slides. All right, so yes, today's discussion is on the Radiansome 100 products versus the Signature Dermatology line. Now, of course, there are many skincare products within the ICD line, but we're really focusing on those core 3 products for each subcategory: the booster, the serum, and the cream for dermatology, and the toner, the essence, and the cream for the Radiansome 100 line. Now, ultimately, to determine which product is right for you or for one of your prospects, it really comes down to skin type and then a couple of other considerations. To understand what skin type you may have, you might already know, but if you do not know or you're not sure, what you can do is cleanse your face and leave it completely dry, or bare rather. Don't apply any products and leave it undisturbed for 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes, come back and assess your skin. Now, if your skin feels dry and it's tight, then it's likely lacking oils and is thusly a dry skin type. It may feel tight not only after cleansing, but also have some visible dullness or even rough patches. However, I also want to highlight that there's another skin type you might have, which is dehydrated. In this instance, your skin is lacking water content, but it appears exactly the same in both sensory and in the visuals. And so it's hard to determine ultimately if your skin is lacking oil or lacking water. Ultimately, you'll have to determine which is which based on your skincare products and the exploration with them. Now, on the opposite end, if you're someone that after those 30 minutes comes back and your skin already starts to look a bit greasy or emollient, then you might have oily skin. Not only may it feel greasy, but it could be shiny or may even be more acne prone. There is that additional hybrid category known as combination skin, in which parts of your face are oily, whereas other parts are dry. For most commonly, it's going to be the oily parts of your T-zone. That's your forehead and your nose, and the drier parts are your chin and your cheeks. But it, of course, can vary between individuals. If you have normal skin, lucky you, I am jealous. And so after those 30 minutes, your skin doesn't feel too tight or too dry or too oily. It is just perfect. And so with that, you kind of have a lot of freedom in the design of your routine. And last but not least, we have the consideration of sensitive skin. Now, sensitive skin can coexist with any of these other skin types. You can be dry and sensitive or oily and sensitive. But with the consideration of sensitive skin, there was a study performed by Aveeno in 2022, and it found that 71% of adults identified as having sensitive skin. Now, whether or not these perceptions of sensitive skin could be backed by clinical evidence, it really doesn't matter, because it's going to influence how that individual ultimately chooses their skincare. We're really looking for gentle formulations that curtail any redness or inflammation, but also that don't exacerbate any signs of sensitivity, such as rash formation or general inflammation. Now, with these all considered, when we look towards the 2 potential lines you might embrace, the signature line with the dermatology products or the advanced RIMAN ritual with the Radiansome products, we can also categorize them based on your skin type, but also how they're going to interact with your skin. Now, the dermatology line was designed for all skin types, but I will say if you're someone with dry skin that it's lacking oil, you might find that the Radiansome products are best for you. But in that consideration, the dermatology products themselves are much more water rich, so they're very quickly absorbing. That water evaporates off the skin and deposits behind the key ingredients in the products. It really is focusing on hydration as a means of glow boosting, but you have additional benefits like the reduction in the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and the reduction in the appearance of hyperpigmentation. You have that giant byung pool, you have that NMN, key ingredients to perform in those various aesthetic desires. With that in mind, our Radiansome line is specialized, yes, for mature skin, but it's not just for mature skin types. Dry, as I have mentioned, can also benefit well with the Radiansome products because of that high oil load, but normal skin may also prefer this line and even combination skin. Now, because of the 100% liposomal format, it's going to be much more emollient and oil rich. It's more slowly absorbing, but with the recent relaunch of these products, I will say it's not as dramatically slow in its absorption in comparison to the OG Radiansome products. It really absorbs quite nicely into the skin, doesn't leave a heavy emolliency on the surface. These products are focused, yes, on the basic claims of hydration and moisturization, but also on that targeted brightening and reduction in the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, as well as general skin elasticity. So in either line, if you're someone that has sensitive skin and can only use the Dermatology line, you're still getting those benefits. But the Radiansome line has that specialized technology with the liposomes and key ingredients to work alongside those liposomes to really perform in these various aesthetic desires. Now, in the consideration of the different products and how you can create your routine, of course, they are all categorized within the basic tenets of K-beauty. And as I've said before, while K-beauty is fundamental, it shouldn't be complex for you to appreciate. And so utilizing those basic tenets of cleansing, hydrating, and protecting really simplifies the approach to creating your own ritual. As long as you have a product or two that satisfies each of those tenets, that's a good skincare routine. And within those basic tenets, we can create that platform really for experimentation, mixing and matching products to find what is working best for your skin. In the different options we have in the line, of course, we focus on our Dermatology line as our best-selling signature line. This, again, really prioritizes hydration as a means of obtaining skin radiance. These three products have the highest concentration of our lava byung pool water, which is that giant byung pool leaf extracted in our Jeju lava energy water. The booster is 89% giant byung pool. The serum is 73% lava byung pool water, and the Dermatology cream is 67%. These three products are also all German derma tested and all have the 5-star derma test seal. And so that allows for the assurance that these are going to be applicable for even sensitive skin types as well. So I typically recommend this line for anyone starting out with Riman or those who aren't too sure their skin type or their skincare goals, because it's such a delicate way to dip your toes into the water. Now, within the Dermatology line, we have a specific mechanism of absorption or skin benefit that is solely exclusively used in this line, and that is what are known as incelsomes. So these incelsomes are exosomes that are derived specifically from giant byung pool. Now, exosomes are microscopic and they're naturally occurring vehicles or vesicles that are secreted by cells for intercellular communication. But in skincare, they can transfer bioactive molecules between cells, so really facilitating the deposition of key ingredients into the skin. Now, if you might be familiar, I believe we brought these up in week 3 was when we talked about the exosome, and the liposomes. So both of them have that similar outer layer, that phospholipid bilayer, very similar to the natural concept of our skin cells, really going to allow for that harmony between the two cell types, between the exosomes and your natural skin cells, to deposit ingredients to areas that matter. Now, exosomes are secondary metabolites, and they exist not only in plant cells but mammalian cells as well. So we are sourcing them directly from the giant byung pool. Now, they have distinctive capabilities such as not only the intercellular communication, but delivering bioactive molecules and modulating immune responses, which really make them promising candidates for skin regeneration. Now, there is still a lot to be understood about exosomes. There is a lot of ongoing research about how they really interact with the skin, but they are fantastic on the surface level in its deposition and protection of ingredients onto the skin. So with each product in the Dermatology line, you get a guaranteed amount of exosomes. Our booster has 1.3 billion per bottle, our serum 450 million, and our cream 500 million. Now, with utilizations of exosomes or incelsomes in our case, traditionally they are up to nature's design in what they contain. So they're going to contain those necessary giant byung pool nutrients and phytonutrients to benefit our skin. Whereas with the liposomes in the Radiansome 100 line, we synthesize those, and so we control ultimately what is going within those liposomes. Now, these exosomes included in formula are also alongside that lava byung pool water, which is that direct leaf extract, and we also have giant byung pool amino acids in the Dermatology products, and that is our byung pool 3 solution, which we went over in our session 2 over the giant byung pool leaf heritage ingredient. Now, alongside the Byung Pool for antioxidant care, anti-inflammatory maintenance, the fine line and wrinkle reduction, and the hyperpigmentation reduction, both products and the cream also have what's known as NMN. Now, NMN, or nicotinamide mononucleotide, is a derivative of niacinamide and a precursor to NAD+. Now, NAD+ is a naturally occurring energy enzyme within our bodies that really helps with a variety of different daily metabolisms. However, we lose roughly 50% of our NAD plus every 20 years. Essentially, the process that recycles NAD plus in our bodies begins to break down. And so it is yet to be fully illuminated if the topical or oral supplementation of NMN directly converts into NAD plus, but Procter & Gamble and the American Academy of Dermatology have both proven that the direct application of NMN onto the skin can greatly improve the skin health. Not only does it improve skin hydration, but it also improves skin clarity, reduces hyperpigmentation, and reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Now, while these products both stand together in a sort of synergy, they can also stand alone in their stories because they both uniquely have their own key third ingredient. The booster has what's known as Rejuviome R. This is an enzyme pulled from what's known as an extremophile. And extremophiles are unicellular organisms living in extremely harsh conditions. And so they need these repair enzymes to really keep them alive despite these harsh conditions. We have taken such a repair enzyme and applied it into skincare, and it employs similar DNA repair mechanisms that it would for that unicellular organism. Lastly, we have the Filerstin within the serum. This is a microbiome-based approach to anti-aging care, really supporting the surface of the skin barrier, but also supporting the maintenance of necessary elasticity. Now, hopefully by now you all are familiar with how we recommend you use these products, and that is in our Boo Say Boo. You'll do a couple sprays of the booster, 3 to 5 to even 6 sprays of the booster, allow that to absorb, do a couple drops of serum and massage that into the skin, allow that to absorb, and then follow with a second round of booster sprays. Now, because both of these products are so high in that lava Byung Pool water, and water itself is naturally going to evaporate from the skin, we allow for that natural behavior of water to evaporate while still saturating the skin with key ingredients in formula. HQ is currently also doing ongoing research on the benefit of continuing your Boo Say Boo, doing it a second or third time around. And so far it is showing that it actually increases the amount of hydration and skin benefit you may see. It doesn't plateau with multiple applications of these products. So if you're someone that perhaps does want to see more from your current routine, or you're needing more hydration, try out Boo Say Booing a couple times in a row. We'll finish off, of course, with that dermatology cream for the signature line. Still has that Byung Pool and the NMN, but its third key ingredient is two ingredients, and that's going to be ergothioneine and carnosine. Now, ergothioneine is thought to be a more potent antioxidant than CoQ10. Not only does it protect your skin's endogenous antioxidants, so what your skin naturally produces to protect itself, but it also provides antioxidant care, so really robust in that protective step. The carnosine is a naturally occurring dipeptide that complements this activity, but also helps in the maintenance of skin elasticity. With this cream, you of course massage into the skin and end or begin your day, but especially at night, if you want to apply a thicker layer, you can do so almost as an overnight treatment. Leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes and then massage the remnants into your skin. Now, for other individuals who prefer to go towards that advanced line, we of course have our Radiansome 100 products. These are all relaunched, they're renewed and reformulated and perfect for the skin. Again, it's going to be for those mature skin types, dry skin types, normal or combo, or with those identified skin issues such as hyperpigmentation or fine lines and wrinkles. And I repeat, that's not that you won't see it with the dermatology products. The liposomes here just give that extra edge. Now, these have been run through the microfluidizer processor multiple times to create what are known as flexible liposomes. These are even smaller, more microscopic spherical molecules that have a really robust nature about them, that they can really protect the ingredients they contain and deposit them evenly into the skin while still having a smooth and uniform consistency in formula feel. The liposomes that we have employed, of course, are really intended to enhance the deposition of targeted ingredients in the products. Like many things that were initially introduced to the pharmaceutical industry, this was something that initially was created for the enhanced absorption of oral or topical medications into the skin, and it was adopted by the cosmetic industry for a similar purpose, to enhance the absorption of topical formulations into the skin. We specifically hold the patent or exclusive access to a piece of machinery known as the microfluidizer processor. This creates nanoliposomes of entire formulations. And I cannot stress enough how novel this is. When I was, previously a practicing cosmetic chemist, we would frequently come across raw materials that were already encapsulated, but the addition of these into formula meant that the formula in its entirety was maybe 5 to 10% liposomal. We are taking the entire starting media of a formula, running it through the processor, and outputting liposomes of every single ingredient, every corner of that formulation. This is extremely difficult in that it's hard to maintain a stable formula, and it's also very costly. But because we have a microfluidizer in-house at Ask Labs, we were able to go through that period of trial and error to create a stable, safe, and efficacious format. Now, these liposomes really help us in the absorption because your skin is fantastic at what it's supposed to be doing, which is acting as a barrier. Sometimes molecules are too large or they're the wrong polarity. They're not oil or water soluble to accurately deposit or absorb into the skin. With the use of liposomes, we can get that accurate deposition and absorption and that targeted efficacy. If you're trying to reduce hyperpigmentation, for example, then a liposome can bring an ingredient to an area of melanin deposit or melanin collection to have a profound effect on your skin. So to illuminate a bit further, this is really what's going on with our microfluidizer processor. So with the use of our flexible liposomes, we have run these formulas multiple times through. With the original or OG Radiansome formulas, they went through just once, which was fine, but the formulas were quite emollient and sometimes even heavy feeling. With the additional run of the microfluidizer processor for each product, you get that really fine feeling, that very luxurious sensory experience with the products. These ultra refined particles are not only helping with that smoother formulation feel, but still maintaining that enhanced skin absorption. The toner has 81 billion particles per drop, the essence 100 billion particles, and the cream 120 billion particles. Now on the left here, I have this depiction of how the microfluidizer processor is working. You start with your initial formula containing all your active ingredients, your formula stabilizers, and you run it through the microfluidizer processor, which functions under a physics principle known as Bernoulli's principle. It essentially involves rapid increases in pressure and rapid decreases in speed. So yes, a rapid increase in speed is a decrease in pressure. So it is opposite. So basically, we expose the formula to very high pressure at first, and then we rapidly drop it. And that causes the formula to speed through the machine and go through a set geometry. This geometry, of course, is not exactly like this. It's not 4 diamonds inside a chamber, but this specific geometry forces the molecules to hit each other and to hit the walls of the apparatus, and thusly they create those liposomes via that force, so to speak. And it outputs microparticles that were 1/350th the size, or excuse me, the thickness of a human hair. And that's with a singular run of the microfluidizer processor. So we go through again and again and again for many of these products, upwards of 7 times within the consideration of the line. So within our Radiansome products here, we have new key ingredients at play. We still have our giant bang pool, but in different formats. So we start with our toner being the thinnest product of the line. It's really going to be your preparation step. It's not only going to reinforce moisturization and hydration post-cleanse, but it's going to help with the absorption of other products in the line and itself have benefit for your skin. Key ingredients that are shared through all 3 products of the Radiansome line are going to be these top 3 here, the top 4 here, and this 5th one down here. RK Snowflake is a natural extract for maintenance of antioxidant care. Our Vita complex is a 5 vitamin complex, and it's comprised of vitamin B3, B5, B3, B5, panthenol, and vitamin C and vitamin E. So a lot of people that want to see vitamin C, that they're holding on tight to their vitamin C serum. Vitamin C is in a lot of the products in the ICD line. It's even in the dermatology products, and it's also here too in the Radiansome products. Collagenere is for radiant elasticity, so maintaining the structural integrity of your skin. And then the last two shared ingredients, both are different formats of our giant Byung pool. Centelac GT is the synergy or the harmony between our giant Byung pool, lactobacillus ferment for microbiome care, and camellia flower extract. These all work together to do basically everything under the sun that you would need for an anti-aging product. It hydrates, it moisturizes, it reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, it reduces the appearance of hyperpigmentation. Alongside that, we have our Byung-pool Colossome, which is Byung-pool grown under blue LED conditions. And this creates a different concentration of phytonutrients in the leaves that directly influence the antioxidant properties of the Radiansome products. Now, unique to the toner, we have what's known as Primal Hyal Hydra and Glycoin Natural. Primal Hyal Hydra is a cationic third-generation hyaluronic acid, and this cationic nature is important because it means it's positively charged, and this influences how it hydrates the skin. In vitro and in vivo studies, it showed not only to immediately hydrate the skin, but to maintain hydration long-term, upwards of 72 hours in its specific study. For the Glycoin Natural, it is very similar to the Centelac GT in doing everything under the sun. It's considered a multifunctional ingredient. Not only is it going to be designed for matured, stressed, or tired skin, but it offers similar efficacies in reducing the appearance of hyperpigmentation, improving dermal thickness and dermal elasticity, but it also imparts some blue light protection to the skin as well. Now, to use the toner, it's going to be quite a few dashes into the palm of your hand, pat your palms together, and massage into the skin in an upward sweeping motion. You would next follow with the essence in the routine, so those same shared ingredients we just addressed, but unique to the essence is Chronoglow and Actuant. We could have an entire product university on Chronoglow. It is such a fascinating ingredient. Essentially, scientists used epigenetics and biomimicry to study realistically and find inspiration from the resurrection plant, which is a plant found in the desert. During times of severe drought, the resurrection plant will downregulate its metabolism, essentially shut itself off. But at time of first rain, it resurrects itself and begins its metabolism again. And so using all these different studies of these heritable gene traits and these, natural selection as well, we looked at how we could employ this resurrection plant for human use. So it's inspired by, but it's also derived from the resurrection plant. In studies, it was found in just 15 days of use that it not only helped in the production of collagen, specifically type 6 and 16, but also helped reduce hyperpigmentation, improve general elasticity, and improve skin hydration as well. Now, this ectoin creates a sort of hydrofilm on the surface of the skin. This not only locks in hydration while also imparting hydration, but it further reduces the appearance of redness and of inflammation and can improve the appearance of dull or tired skin. To utilize the essence, you can either pump into your palm or directly onto your face and massage in. And you'll finish with our cream. And so the unique ingredients to the cream are Jeju Camellia extensin and Cybrite. Jeju Camellia extensin is something we have sourced ourselves on Jeju Island, and it's specifically derived from the Jeju Camellia flower. It's a low molecular weight plant-based glycoprotein that greatly maintains skin elasticity. And the Cybrite is derived from rainbow seaweed and is again designed for hyperpigmentation reduction. So specific to that Cybrite, it was shown to reduce hyperpigmentation in as little as a week with consistent daily application. And that's of course on the raw material itself in formula. So with the cream, we of course massage this into the skin, and that is it for your Radiansome routine, unless of course you're going to apply a sunscreen and out for your day. And as you may have also seen with all these different products, we have so much testing for their performances, and we recently unveiled the testing for these last three products. So the cream had an increase in 4 weeks of skin elasticity, I believe, or skin brightness was the result. The essence showed 116% increase in immediate hydration. The toner showed 12 hours of hydration maintenance. So all of these are in the differentiation between them. While yes, the dermatology line has those exosomes, why wouldn't we employ liposomes in the line, that flexible liposome technology? In that question, there's a couple of different considerations. With the utilization of liposomes, you have to consider texture and application. The use of liposomes not only impacts the texture, but also impacts the absorption rate of the products. Our dermatology line prioritizes that young pool leaf water and other water-soluble actives like hyaluronic acid, niacinamide. And so water is a fantastic carrier for these ingredients. It allows for that quick absorption, quick deposition, versus the ingredients we wanted to maintain within the Radiansome line needed that liposomal nature to really enhance their uptake, but also lend towards the feel of that line. It already is going to be more emollient and luxurious, versus with the dermatology products, we want them to be water thin. Similarly, you have ingredient compatibility. Some actives simply don't work synergistically with liposomes. It's difficult for stabilization of a formula if you are using liposomes. And so the ingredients that are in each product line lends towards their bases into the technologies employed in those liposomes, or excuse me, in that line specifically. And so when we come to the ultimate determination of which line do I use, and this is an old picture of the old Radiansome cream, so I apologize for not updating that, but in the consideration, we of course have the consideration of skin types. If you're someone with sensitive skin, you're likely going to always go towards the dermatology products. If you have very dry skin or even dehydrated skin, you might find the Radiansome line is best for you. But otherwise, there are many overlapping skin types that can use either line. So I always recommend you first start out with the dermatology line, and even very basically with just the essential remodel ritual, working up to the signature remodel ritual, unless of course you already have an experience kit or you want to dive in and you want to try everything. You can then later graduate to the Radiansome line, or you can create immediately or later on a hybrid routine. So here we have an instance of creating a hybrid routine. More often than not, we recommend that people try the dermatology products in the morning and the Radiansome 100 products at night. You have that quickly absorbing nature of the dermatology products, very hydrating, it lays well under makeup, and at night your skin barrier actually becomes more penetrable. So utilizing the Radiansome and all of its advanced technology at night is kind of like an overnight treatment. But many individuals also have a hybrid routine within a singular routine. Perhaps in the morning you use some dermatology products and some Radiansome products. If you're looking to create a hybrid routine within a singular routine, I don't recommend doing all of the products. That might simply be too much for your skin, or the effects may plateau. But if you are wanting to really mix and match, I think it's important you first start with those water-rich products so that you don't create an occlusive layer through which the water will not absorb. And what I mean by that is always go first with the booster in serum or Boo before any of the Radiansome products. Typically, I recommend you Boo and then you do either the Radiansome Essence or the Radiansome Toner, and you finish with either the Radiansome Cream or the Dermatology Cream. The Dermatology Cream is okay to go after the Radiansome products of any choice because it is still oil-based to some degree, so it marries better. It's not going to have as much of an impact in terms of that occlusive layering. It's still going to absorb. But really, it is up to you how you want to design something. And so, of course, I have created an outline to hopefully help you in this. I think this is a very powerful and helpful outline. So please feel free to scan the QR code here. We are also dropping it in the chat, and I will pause here for those of you to grab it. I think it is important to even share this for those not in Product University because it goes over the skin types we discussed. It goes over the main differentiation between the two lines and, of course, how to create a hybrid routine of your own. And if this for some reason did not clarify anything, or you have a unique case and you have someone that, is a bit finicky in their products, still use me as a resource. I love helping design ultimately someone's routine. So the ritual at Riman inbox, or excuse me, Riman.com inbox is where you can reach me. And on that note, next week it is time for our Q&A session. Next week, session 7. I am still open to receiving questions. Please still reach out to the ritual at Riman.com inbox with your question. Make sure to mark it as a question for Product University so that I don't immediately respond. But I look forward to that session of just really going in depth on the beautiful curiosities that you all have showed me throughout my time of teaching Product University. But that sums up our discussion for today. I hope this was useful to you. I know that it is so important to understand what products to even write, because if you start out with the wrong product line, you might not have faith in Riman overall. So I do hope that it gives you a kind of a key to helping out others find what products to write for them. But without further ado, I am so excited to see you next week. I cannot believe we are almost done, but please still send in your questions for the Q&A, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.